Thank God for joining another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network. It's your host, Wise Grisette. As you all know, RPN, community manager, and of course, a podcast enthusiast. Now follow us on Instagram and TikTok at REVOLT Podcast Network. And of course, visit listen.revolt.tv to get tapped in with all of our amazing podcast library. Now it's a little bit about us, but today we have a guest, as we normally do. This man hails from Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. Watts, thank you for blessing us with your presence today, my brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me. Finally, I made it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could tell my mama I did something.
Man, you've done a lot, bro. I've had an opportunity to, first off, meet you at Revolt World in person, but then we've had some opportunities to talk, just off that line as well too, and it's been amazing, bro. Like, I am really excited to hear. Like, I know some stuff about you, but I'm excited for the audience to hear a lot about you as well too. So first off, introduce yourself a little bit, and then we'll dive into the whole pod.
All right, man. Listen, it's real easy. I'm Watts, B.K.A Watts, everywhere that you can possibly go find a person on the internet. I am a reformed rapper. I turned host, then went from hosting, won a bunch of awards for that, retired myself to a degree, and then shifted into podcasting. And podcasting brought me here. Right now, my company produces 23 podcasts every week, 4 of those being for the REVOLT Podcast Network. And we just active. I dove in, and now we cook. So.
Man, active is an understatement. Understatement. 23, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's aggressive. Man. We out here.
So, all right. So we know a little bit about you, from being on the podcast network. But this whole podcast is called Behind the Mic because we want to know a little bit about you from behind the mic as well too. So, share with us a little bit about who you are, who Watts is, and how we got here.
Man, bro, I just realized that I just am an entertainer, and I know that I need to be doing something. I am fortunately gifted and cursed with quite a bit of talent. I'm an artist. I'm a self-taught. Like, if anybody know, you follow me, you find me, you'll see I am a self-taught pencil artist. And with that being said, I am constantly doing something and creating something. So just the way that I move in general has always kept me in position to just do things. Like I said, music was a thing. Hosting was a thing. I've just been creative my whole life. So at some point back in 2016, I decided that's all I want to do. It's just the things that I'm good at and operate in my space of my talents and my gifts. And that has taken me everywhere since.
Everywhere indeed, man. Again, like I said, it was great to see you at Revolt World in Atlanta. You got to kick it with the whole Revolt, team. Devin, shout out to over there as well too. But so that's one aspect, right? So off of that now, what's one personal milestone or achievement from behind the mic that you're the most proud of?
Man, milestone or achievement that I'm most proud of, bro, like it's being able to step out of a space of being selfish and to have gotten here and know that through what I started out doing for myself in the podcasting space, I've been able to empower so many other creators and people who have a voice and be, the catalyst to helping them spread their word and their message. It's like, that's my impact. That's the thing that I've done. I've made podcasting here and therefore spreading the word accessible. I've made it affordable. I've made it easy for people. So that's something that is long lasting and that can go on past me. So I already am, I'm already satisfied with that in itself, but I know that there's still room to even grow with it. So, that's a major thing for me.
Mm-hmm. And what's a dream that you'd like to come true for you personally?
Me personally, I also want to be able to get this business up to the point where it can operate itself with the people who I brought into it together to allow myself to also step back into a space so I can put more of my creative energy into my own outlets. Because I want to be able to put more time into Blerds and Clips and a podcast that doesn't exist, and, you know, in my art, and more time, even more time with my daughter. Like, I got into business to be able to have more time with my kid, and the way that business is taking off so aggressive, I've lost a little bit of that. And I definitely I need to get it back. So just growing the business up to a point where it's self-sustaining, and then that way I can just get that freedom back. So then my talents become less work and more just my outlets again.
Nah, that's real, and I resonate. I don't want to take up your time, but I definitely resonate. All right, so before we move on to our game, what's one thing that you want people to know about you that they wouldn't get from listening to your podcast?
Okay, so my podcast, ooh man, you would know that I was funny. You would know that we love and talk about movies, and you will also hear that, you know, on occasion that we can rap. Something that y'all wouldn't know about me from the podcast, though. Oh man, I do magic.
Right, bro. How did you hold that in this long? Hold on. How did you hold that in this long, bro? First off, y'all, for those of y'all that did not come to Revolt World, he definitely had magic cards and was just letting it go. But I'm gonna let you speak to it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's man. Listen, I went to Atlanta back in 2017. I've always been interested in magic my whole life, but I went to Atlanta back in 2017 and came across a dude who also is from there, called himself Black Gambit. And I didn't know him at the time, but he stopped us on the street and did some card magic. I'm talking about, bro, flipped my socks inside out in my shoes while I was saying, yo, this is the craziest thing I ever seen. So as soon as I touched back down on the ground in Cleveland, I'm like, I'm gonna learn magic, bro. I have to. And I started just trying to seek out whatever stuff I could, but I didn't want to learn like janky, rinky dink, like stuff that's like fake props and gimmicks that you can only use one time. I wanted to actually learn some skills, and I found a couple of people. And yeah, then I got reached out to by one of the members of the National Association of Black Magicians, which I didn't know existed. And next thing you know, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, getting magic on myself. So it's a thing.
Incredible, bro. I'm sorry. That's incredible. That is actually incredible. I think so far, out of all the interviews I've done, you truly might have the most special, like, tid note things that you
ridiculous,
know about
bro.
you.
It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. And it's wild because, like, I did know that you did that, but at the same time, like, hearing it again and then having my mind, like, go back to when you did pull the cards out, I'm like, oh shit, wait.
No, bro, for real.
That part.
I mean, like I said, bro, it get active. Like I said, I went from rapper, I done spoken word, I do arts, and I think I do all of these things really, really well. You know what I'm saying? Stepping into the hosting space, winning awards in that space, then getting into podcasting, turning my show into a whole business and a company, bro. Like I don't know, man. Like when I left my job, bro, I just went crazy. I was set free to just go. You know what I'm saying? And since then, it was like all gas. You know what I'm saying? All gas.
Nah, I feel that. All right, so we got a quick game to wrap it up. This is a rapid fire game. It's only 30 seconds. We are gonna play Rank It. Okay. Now I tried this with someone else and it did not go all that well. I said I was gonna not play this game no more, but I think you got this. Okay.
All right.
So 3, 2, 1. Rank these 3 groups: Migos, Wu-Tang, and an Outkast.
Outkast, Wu-Tang, Migos.
Fire. Okay. Rank these breakout artists: Ice Spice, Lotto, Glorilla.
Glow, Lotto, Ice Spice.
Okay. Rank these iconic producers: Pharrell, Timbaland, Metro Boomin.
Timbaland, Pharrell, Metros.
Let the folks know where they can find you.
Hey man, y'all can find me anywhere, everywhere at B.K.A Watts. That's better known as, y'all don't know my first name, and you don't need to. Just tap in with me. I'll be everywhere maneuvering.
Fire. Okay, y'all. And make sure that you are following his podcast, Blerds and Clips. You can find that on REVOLT Podcast Network, listen.revolt.tv, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcast. Thank y'all for listening to another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network. I'm your boy, Wise Grisette, and I'll see you next time.